What is up, people? Welcome back to another one. In today's video I'm just going to create something simple. I was looking to buy one obviously for my box. It's basically like a little tool, not tool holder, glove box holder, because I was looking up for them online. They go for like around £10–15, and then I want to make one for the towel as well, both magnetic of course, because they're kind of like, I got a glove, a box of gloves in my toolbox, and then kind of like takes up some space. And I don't mind if it's hanging out, kind of like makes it easier when I want to grab gloves on the go. So yeah, make some use of that space that I'm gonna make inside my drawer. So yeah, I thought of like, instead of buying one, because obviously since it's quarantine and then we can't go out or whatever, I got some scrap sheet metal, so might as well like make something out of that. Like, why not save up a little bit of money. It's simple. So what I'm gonna do, I'll make some marks over there. Obviously this is an A4 paper, you can grab cardboard or whatever, just like a, just to get a basic idea of like what the measurements are gonna be like. All you need is pretty much maybe like a black marker, pencil, measuring tape, or even a ruler. You can do with that, nothing complicated. But get a basic idea. I already made like some cuts over here, so basically when it folds up, you can kind of like get an idea of how it is going to be. And then I got like I got my welder as well, so I'm going to tag it as well, kind of like keep it all together. Should be a simple job. So yeah, basically just an update. I kind of like took the measurements. Like with this one, obviously I made the sides bigger, because obviously when it's gonna fold, when I'm gonna fold it up, it's gonna go like all the way here, and then kind of like about 3 centimeters on the side, kind of like leaving only the gap when I'm gonna be like taking out the gloves. So this is pretty much what it's gonna look like. So it's kind of like this section, this is gonna like I'm gonna have to cut this section like it's over here, because I'm gonna fold it up like that. So basically this one is gonna like kind of like fold in like that, and then this is gonna be the main one, then this is gonna fold, and then this is gonna fold, same on the other side. So it's roughly about like 3 centimeters onto like the small sides, and then kind of like 7, 3, and then this kind of like, I don't know if all the all the box of gloves, they're kind of like universal size or something like that. So I measured this about 13 centimeters, which is kind of like, this is like a extra large, not large self gloves, 100 piece. So I'm thinking it should be like the other, other brands of gloves, it should be roughly the same. So yeah, now what we're gonna do is gonna obviously chop it, smooth out the surfaces and all that, fold it, and then kind of like sand it as well to like prep it for like a touch of paint, so it looks nice. So just a quick update. Basically what I've done is obviously I used the grinder to chop it, well, to like cut it in sizes, and then kind of like to smoothen up the corners and all of that, just change it up to a floppy flap disc. I don't know whether this one is like 80 or 60 grit or whatever, 100 grit. But yeah, you get the point. You can use sandpaper or like anything just to smooth out the edges. And then as for like kind of like shaping it up, the sheet metal to like kind of like the glove box holder itself, is either, if you got a tool like I would say like people that do like a lot of sheet metal working, they got like a big long tool that's kind of like easy to bend sheet metal. If not, a simple vise will do the job. And then kind of like a tip for you is, because obviously I don't know like how big of a vise you have, but obviously if the mouth of the vise is small, what you can use is kind of like find 2 pieces of long wood. Ideally, I don't know how thick this is or anything bigger than that, and then basically this kind of like, when you do place it inside, it kind of like evens out the pressure when you're bending the sheet of metal. So whatever you're trying to bend, depending on the thickness, obviously it's going to be a bit harder. So I don't know, this one looks like, I think 1.2 mil or 1.5, I'm not really sure. But yeah, obviously when you apply the wood, you're covering more surface area, so it kind of like bends everything more evenly. You might have to go like backwards and forwards, kind of like to get it into like a decent shape. Obviously, is it going to be a top quality job? It ain't going to be like, the best like job out there. You can get as close as possible to how you like it. Obviously, as long as you get the job done, I'm happy with it. I'm kind of like saving up a little bit of money, get some other tools that I might need. So just a quick change. Before I was going to put this onto the vise, I did realize, because obviously my vise, you know, depending on what type of vise you have, you might have like a bit of a clearance issue over here. So in my case, it was kind of like, as you can see, I'm meant to put that like sort of line over there, but it's touching. So that's kind of like a bit of a, well, kind of like didn't go according to plans. Although it went, like, I had no problem when I was making my side tray, because the distance wasn't as this big. So what I am gonna do, if it's thin sheet metal, what you can do, you can, if you got like a flat surface, obviously mine is kind of like my table over here is kind of like my work table is kind of like a bit of a bend out of shape. So I found like a piece of wood that's kind of like straight. So what I'm gonna do is try to like force it to bend. That way I kind of like get the shape that I do want to get. Hey, what is up guys? Just finish up kind of like making up my little glove box holder. So what I ended up is I kind of like used this kind of like more solid kind of like 90-degree shape corner over here, rather than kind of like this one over here. I did use the vise as well to kind of bend it, so it's kind of like backwards and forwards with the hammer, and then kind of like with the vise, and then obviously a surface, like a tough surface to like kind of bend it into shape. Obviously hammering as well, because we ain't got like no special tools, so kind of like old school. So yeah, I mean, works fine. I did, you know, do some welding a little bit. Obviously I'm not professional welder, so kind of like looks, you know, I mean, obviously the thing is solid, you know, it's fine by me. I don't want it to like, ain't gonna hold like a 200 pound or 300 pound, like anything. Like, it's just, you know, a holder for the gloves, something simple. It weighs a little bit, because I mean, I should have used like thinner metal, kind of like weight reduction, and then make it easier to work with as well. But yeah, probably what I'm gonna do, I am gonna probably put magnets as well, but I'm gonna drill holes as well, kind of like maybe like put it on the side of my box, kind of like holding it on this side, and then kind of like save and make room on my toolbox. Well, that was the video guys. Pretty simple, kind of like, you know, do something in the afternoon rather than just like sitting all day. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, just gonna like need to sand it and then paint it, obviously depending on what color you want. You know, I'll got a red tool card, so I'm gonna do it red. But if you got a blue one, green one, you know, do it whatever color you want to do. But yeah, pretty much that was the idea. I'm gonna be making something similar for like my towel holder, which is kind of like a two-piece. That one obviously is gonna be smaller, so it ain't gonna be, I believe, as complex as like well, as complex as this one. But you get the idea. That was the video guys. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Yeah, it's something simple, you know. Obviously it's not gonna be 5-star thing that's gonna be the most beautiful ever. Does it get the job done? Yeah, that's all I care. Did I save money? You know, I had some scrap material laying around. Did I make good use of it? Yeah, so that was the whole point. And I'll see you in the next video.